Have you ever found yourself stuck in a pattern of repeating mistakes, only realizing too late what went wrong? Do you feel like you're doing your best but somehow things just never seem to work out the way you envisioned them? It's frustrating, right? Especially when it feels like no matter how hard you try, you just can't get it right. But here's the thing. What if the key to changing your life isn't about doing more, but about doing better? And what if you could learn from the hardest lessons of all, the ones that no one wants to talk about? Today, we're diving into something that might feel a bit heavy, but trust me, it's something that can change your perspective forever. We're talking about the lessons I wish I'd known from my own journey through marriage, lessons that can apply to anyone looking to improve themselves, their relationships, or their own personal growth. Whether you're currently in a relationship, considering one, or just focused on becoming the best version of yourself, these insights could be life-changing. But before we go deeper, if you want more content on how to transform your life, hit that subscribe button and join us here at Wise Valley. Let's take this journey together and uncover the wisdom that can lead us to better lives. Relationships can be beautiful. They can be life-affirming, filled with love and joy, but they can also be some of the hardest journeys we ever go on. We all know that feeling of falling in love, thinking that this is it, that love alone will carry us through anything. But as time goes on, we realize that love, while essential, isn't always enough. There's so much more that goes into building a lasting, fulfilling relationship, whether it's with a spouse, a partner, or even yourself. And it's not just about avoiding mistakes, it's about learning to grow together, to communicate, and to support each other's individual journeys. So why do we often fail? The problem isn't just external, it's deeply rooted in emotional, psychological, and environmental factors that shape the way we approach relationships and ultimately, our own growth. Let's start with the biggest issue most people face. Intentions. We often hear people say, follow your heart, but let's face it, if we only followed our hearts, how many of us would end up in places we truly didn't want to be? Emotional decisions can be powerful, but they're not always sustainable. The root cause of many problems in relationships lies in unclear or misaligned intentions. When we enter a marriage or any significant commitment, we rarely ask ourselves why we're doing it. What are our goals? What do we want from life? What are our values? And how do they align with those of our partner? Think about it. When a couple hasn't clearly defined their intentions or communicated them from the start, small differences begin to surface. These differences, whether in life goals, values, or even how we view success, can easily grow into mountains that are hard to overcome. When you're not aligned on a deep level, no amount of love can hold it together. Solution? Ask yourself, what are my intentions for this relationship? Define your personal goals, your values, and the kind of future you want to build. Share these with your partner and ask them to do the same. This foundation will give you both a direction to move towards, especially when challenges arise. It's not about being perfect, it's about being aligned. Real-life example. Consider two people. One is focused on building a career in a busy city, while the other dreams of a quiet life in the countryside. If these intentions aren't discussed, resentment will eventually build. But if they're addressed early, they can find a middle ground, or even decide that their paths are better off apart. It's easy to think that grand gestures will keep the spark alive. We see it in movies, read about it in books, and sometimes even expect it in real life. But the truth is, small, everyday acts of kindness are what actually build a strong, lasting bond. Many people overlook this, thinking that romance is about grand surprises or expensive gifts. But kindness, patience, a shared laugh, or simply being present for each other, that's what sustains a relationship over time. Solution: focus on the small, everyday moments. Compliment each other, express gratitude, or simply share a quiet moment. These small gestures, repeated daily, create a sense of connection that grand gestures can't always replicate. Real-life example. Take a moment to think about a time when your partner did something small for you. Maybe they made your favorite cup of tea, or they took care of something without you asking. How did that make you feel? Now imagine doing this every day. It's the accumulation of these moments that build the true strength of a relationship. Let's get real for a second. We've all heard the advice, communicate better. But what does that really mean? The truth is, communication is tough. It's not just about talking, it's about truly understanding, listening, and expressing your feelings in a way that doesn't shut the other person down. And it's not something that magically happens. It takes work. To improve communication, start by learning to express your feelings openly and calmly. Avoid the trap of bottling things up, hoping they'll resolve themselves. And when your partner talks, listen actively. Don't interrupt, and don't get defensive. Instead, try to understand where they're coming from. And remember, communication is a two-way street. In one case, a couple struggled with frequent misunderstandings. One partner felt unheard, and the other felt constantly criticized. They eventually realized they were both communicating with a wall of defensiveness. Once they learned to listen first and respond with empathy, their arguments became more productive and their connection strengthened. One of the most common traps in long-term relationships is stagnation. It's easy to fall into the routine and forget that growth doesn't stop when you get married. But healthy relationships are built on the growth of both individuals. If one partner feels held back, resentment builds. If both aren't evolving, the relationship can feel like it's going in circles. Solution: support your partner's dreams and passions. Encourage each other's growth. Pursue your individual goals while also nurturing the relationship. Celebrate each other's achievements and milestones. The more you both grow, the stronger the relationship becomes. Real-life example. Consider a couple where one partner wanted to go back to school while the other didn't understand the need. Over time, this led to frustration. But when the supportive partner encouraged their spouse's dreams and helped with practical steps, the bond grew stronger, and the couple thrived together. We all know how damaging it is to hold on to resentment. It starts small. A little annoyance here, a small disappointment there, but if left unchecked, it builds up and creates walls between you. Over time, these walls can make it feel like you're living with a stranger. Solution: the key here is addressing issues early, before they grow into grudges. When something bothers you, bring it up calmly. Express your feelings without blame, and work through the issue together. This will prevent bitterness from creeping in. Real-life example. Imagine a couple where one partner constantly forgets to take out the trash. At first it's a minor irritation, but over months it builds up. Instead of letting it fester, the other partner could simply say, "I feel frustrated when the trash isn't taken out. Can we find a solution?" This prevents the small issue from turning into a larger conflict. In any relationship, there will be times when things go wrong. Mistakes will happen, and you will both hurt each other. But the key to a healthy relationship is not perfection, it's patience and forgiveness. The ability to let go of past wrongs and choose to move forward is what keeps a relationship strong. Solution: practice patience. When you're upset, give yourself time to cool down before reacting. And practice forgiveness. Remember, forgiving doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing to release the hurt and move forward with an open heart. Real-life example. There was once a couple where one partner made a significant mistake. The other, instead of holding on to the anger, chose to forgive, and the relationship became stronger because they worked through it together. Forgiveness is a powerful tool for healing. So what's next? If you're ready to make a change, whether it's in your relationship, your personal growth, or simply how you approach life, start with one thing today. Reflect on your intentions, embrace small acts of kindness, and remember, growth is a journey. It's not about being perfect, it's about being better. Take action now, start applying these lessons, and watch how they transform your life. And don't forget to subscribe to Wise Valley for more content that will help you build the life and relationships you truly deserve. Remember, growth begins with you. Let's do this together. Music fades out.